Humans, welcome back to Half-Life 2 with community commentary. Two Half-Lives of course make a full life, and in our full life there's been shit going on. Last time I said I'm gonna go over what's going on in the Citadel, cause I thought they rushed the development and ending of this game as well as they did with the first one, and they actually went out and tried to find some additional information about that to not be wrong really, but I think I found nothing. Well, I found nothing, and I'm not gonna go on hearsay or faulty memory to try to describe or talk about things that didn't happen. But first off, since we were already at this ledge, I wanted to say we often were a witness to this way of blocking the progress, or more likely regress, to the player by just high enough obstacle that you can't climb with the game mechanic. But if you just tried hard enough or cheated in the solution of no clip, you could just, go back and reload all the previous levels. But this is a cheap way, I guess. Just put the player on a hill and make them jump down to continue, and then have them be unable to climb out, so the story can continue. So anyway, like I said, not really a rushed ending here, unless the commentary notes will let me know otherwise. So I might have been wrong here. The first one was definitely rushed, and I now gladly go over this once we get there. But here, well, not so much. However, instead of talking about the game, because what the fuck is this, a Let's Play channel? What are you, stupid? We're gonna talk about some where's that guy coming from? Don't know. We're gonna talk about real life events, because since we're here in the seat of power of Combine on Earth, or at least in City 17, we're essentially, again, the ledge and the tactic of just not being able to jump high enough because we don't have arms to grab the ledge and pull ourselves up. Yeah, since we're in a seat of power and we're about to make even more of a mess here, it's prudent to mention how, first off, welcome to the new decade, only now in the first year of the number. Well, what I'm trying to say, the new decade starts only now. It doesn't matter that last year it was 2020, so it wasn't 19 or 10s anymore. The new decade starts with a 1. When you count to 10, you start with 1, not with 0, and you don't end on 9. You end on 10, on 0. So here, in addition, we're gonna jump into this little holder. What the fuck is this even? It's gonna be awfully uncomfortable, let me tell you. When you go into there, all you're gonna be hanging on to, well, you're gonna be hanging on to this, but you'll be held up by you having your shoulders squeezed, and maybe for a moment if having your hips squeezed. But hip bones, hip bone is one solid piece mostly, so that won't hurt too much compared to your shoulders that are on joints and very not so much elastic as they are moving parts of your body, so that's gonna be uncomfortable. Anyway, you can try count those whatever these are, and oh no, that's completely wrong. You don't have to count anything. One track leads to this and just zapping you with electricity. What the fuck is this? Is this anti-coronavirus measurement? Dating my video, by the way. Anti-coronavirus disinfection method, because we had all other people in these, and Combine is very worried about hygiene, so it's gonna deeply cleanse the device with fucking plasma lasers to have it used by other things. But yeah, there are two tracks. One leads to progress, the other one leads to being fucking melted. So your job is to not pick the wrong one, even though you walk face first into this one. You're supposed to pick this one. And just not to be wrong, I'm gonna save here and see what's gonna happen. And this is gonna be auto-scroll fucking section, so fortunately, even though there are still things here that might happen, I don't really need to worry about gameplay. So anyway, welcome to the new decade. What is it? Third decade has now begun. Third decade of the year 2000, and the first century of the second millennium, the third decade. Yeah, that's where we are in the timeline. And it just so happened that right recently, at the beginning of the year, well, a few days ago really, when the video relative to this video being recorded and also released, the thing that's going on is, you know, Mr. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, fucking lost the election, so he's mad butthurt, and all his supporters are as well, because they're fucking simpletons. Joe Biden won, and that's not much of an upgrade for America, but people decided to voice their disagreement very lately, and right before the power is supposed to be transferred to the new president-elect. And what you didn't see, I'm pretty sure, is that those tracks. How this works, I don't know. I guess those little, whatever we're in, gondola, what the fuck is this? Whatever we're in, has its own propulsion system, because the rail is just a fucking railing, and it's weird. Also, we've got these tubes that seem organic. After all, Combine does the transspeciesism. And yeah, but what does that pump and shit? Dude, one false move, one false step, and those fucking stilt striders, just striders, are gonna fucking tumble and topple and trip and fall down and die. It's just one wrong step away. Because they decided to make the pathwalk narrow. I mean, somewhere, I guess they say, or already told us in the commentaries or in the development, how the whole citadel. There we go.
The repair bay glimpsed here is actually the only surviving bits of a level that was originally planned for Nova Prospect. The original repair bay sequence actually went through a lot of playtesting before it was cut. The level was also to feature movable cranes that the player would control, and naked gunships with their armor removed. As the player left the area, soldiers and antlions were to enter, creating a raging battle that was to ignite fuel lines, engulfing everything in flames.
By the way, there are a bunch of guards and also stalkers that don't really pay attention to us, to what we're doing here. But I guess what could go wrong, right? How the fuck would there be anyone trying to be disruptive in a seat of power and willingly get themselves into whatever this is? So, end of the line. There's a trick to this place where you can save all your guns, but that's not really necessary. What you're getting in return is spicy, to say the least. You can waste some ammo now because we're not gonna get to use much of it anymore. Even the crowbar, man. You can really see how low quality the weapon models are here. And how far did the fucking gravity gun fall? I mean, just a meter further and we wouldn't be able to retrieve it. So also this... Now, of course, the blue gravity gun. It's capable of pulling in people for some reason only now. And not only does it just pull in people and kill them on touch or whatever. Yeah, it kills them. Only now is it able to pull in people, and just because they're getting grabbed, they die. Also, yeah, the blue gravity gun with its the sample of whatever crystal we had that I guess we brought in got saved. Someone scavenged it from Black Mesa incident and put it into 0-point energy field manipulator. Drained whatever power or energy beams were produced by these force fields or generators, emitters, and absorbed it, creating the blue gravity gun with greater range, more force, and killing enemies. being able to pull in on NPCs. So I'm fine with that, but yeah.
At last.
Yes.
I wish I could say this was a pleasant surprise, but it's neither a surprise nor, as you will surely agree, very pleasant. Well, I am nothing if not pragmatic.
Right. So we're here at 2 consoles, no chairs, because the Citadel was designed, like I was saying, Citadel was designed not with humans in mind. Everything was supposed to feel strange, unergonomic, alien, unpleasant, uncaring, whatever other description you might come up with. Also, now that we've been zapped with the Combine Blast and our gravity gun is blue, we can draw energy from Combine armor, suit, regenerators. What the fuck do they do in the field? If you were to fucking go and interact with this, what would that do for you? Your armor is soft body armor, I'm presuming. I mean, we've been over this with that other thing, that other commentary note back in the game in the earlier levels. So I don't know, would that do for you? Would it charge your transhumanism's parts? I don't know, maybe. Like, I've been actually over this, right? How transhumanism, you have to charge something, and that's the benefit of eating. But anyway, yeah, but now it also not only charges our suit up to a higher degree, it also heals us somehow, for some reason. And like we were in the tunnel on the whatever the fucking gondola is, or cart or whatever, we met the gunships being maintained, and you could see they were just hooked on some fucking hanger and worked on, laser fucking welded together or some shit. But apparently, even though they're, like I said, transspeciesism and all these creatures, aliens, beasts and alike things do live and do eat and also shoot plasma rifles out of their faces, they can be turned off, hooked on a fucking a thing, hanger, and then welded together to be fixed and repaired. Like, how the fuck does that work? We're not gonna go into detail because the game doesn't, so what's the commentary note about?
Today, many video games are far more than just games. They are experiences. While many still provide challenges, the challenge is not always the main focus. Today's games are about being immersed in the world, the narrative, the game's flow, and the sense of adventure. The longtime standard of a game becoming increasingly challenging as the game progresses is breaking down to a certain extent. Games are now more commonly designed to keep pace with the player's growing skill, instead of always being one step ahead of it. Half-Life 2 does do this for the most part. However, the game's difficulty doesn't peak at the end. It takes a dive. Instead of the Citadel being a harsh and grueling challenge, the gravity gun is supercharged, and this allows the player to plow through the Combine's last defenses. The Citadel is a very cold, soulless, and imposing place. And while it certainly keeps players on edge, the player's journey through the Citadel is more of a reward than a challenge.
Right, so again, soulless and cold. There are 2 consoles, 2 monitors for apparently 2 people to work on. No chairs, however, and it's in this fucking hallway with nothing in it. Who works here? What for? And how do they maintain shifts and also productivity? I wouldn't know. It's Combine after all. Apparently they're remote controlled anyway, so there's that option. What was I on about the gunships? Oh, in general, I always like this part, yeah, because like Ross said here, it's reward more than a challenge, and you get to, you have this superpowered weapon as opposed to all other weapons you had already, and you really do feel like a fucking Jedi Master here, out of all things and other approaches or shit.
Circumstances, I'd like to think we might have been able to work together in an atmosphere of mutual trust and respect. Certainly, judging from your brief brief tenure at Black Mesa while I was its administrator, you showed every promise of becoming a valuable and productive contributor to the scientific process. And yet, I'm not sure what spurred you to it.
What spurred you to it? But there is something about rogue physicist. I didn't really actually let Breen finish it. This episode, I guess, is the only one where I actually let you listen to what Breen has to say in its completion. So like I said, Jedi Master, it really lets you pull in people, throw them around, kill them, blast them with real strength, and pull all those even monitors and consoles out of the walls and throw them around. Really makes you feel powerful. And yeah, in addition, well, let's hear it.
DirectX 9 was the newest version of Microsoft's multimedia-based application programming interface at the time of Half-Life 2's release, and with it came more tools than ever before for shaders. A shader is a program that dictates how something is drawn by a computer, and in modern games is closely related to how surfaces are affected by light. As Half-Life 2 features many different materials which react to light in many different ways, shaders were important to Half-Life 2. One particularly important use was the emulation of specular reflectivity for the rendering of glossy surfaces such as metal and plastic. Valve did thorough research in order to get the reflectivity and specularity exactly right for the different materials in order to have a very specific material library. Instead of having reflections generated in real time, which was very resource consuming in 2004, a 360-degree render of an area is generated for several different points in each map. These renders are referred to as cube maps, and these static 360-degree images are what you will see reflected off of objects and surfaces while in-game.
So that's how we're handling reflections here, I guess. Yeah, a little bit of technicality, yeah. Even though I'm correcting Pro Jared here. Yeah, you know how it is, you know, I mean, you've been watching, weren't you? Yeah. So where are we going now? Oh, this place. Right, so I guess we'll have a go. Of course, Goose, if you just so happen to actually listen to what he had to say at any point, watch his video, whatever high definition remake of, well, that's the only ones that there are left here. Don't go in there, that will kill you, but also it kills the enemy, even though, you know, they die as soon as you pull them in. But this is what Goose calls the aquarium. The aquarium is the place with these fucking pillars, where you can pull these well, only these dudes are left. You can pull them in and let them float about a little bit, even though they jerk around with because of the jolt from the gravity gun, and disintegrate from the touch of the beam in the middle. You can suspend them a little bit and watch them float a bit like fish in a tank. He says it's very meditative for him and relaxing, and I think he said he likes coming back to him, and whenever he has a bad day he loads in a save here, puts in a combine, just puts in some cool music and has a little bit of a meditation here. I mean, he's not too wrong, but we have to continue. We have to save Alex, we have to save Eli, we have to save everyone, really. Which way are we going? Not this one, not this way. So anyway, like I tried to allude to, like I started to talk about, there is a Donald lost, threw a fucking tantrum, well, as usual. Even if he won, he had one, he threw a tantrum. But the point is, so it's beginning of January 2021, and, you know, just before that, there was, of course, coronavirus raging on, and Black Lives Matter happened. I think specifically even whatever his name was, really, the black dude that got knee choked to death after unlawful arrest because he's black. So riots started again. And the funny thing, if you put the ball of energy here in the whatever this is, again, like receiver, let's say, it will restart the energy field and effectively lock you back in, even though you have the tools to open it up again. But it's interesting that it's not like one thing that you're one and done with. That looks like a button, probably isn't. Ah, there. It bounced all around, managed to hit the receiver again, and it's stable again. Also, talking about stable, you can pull one out, bring it to wherever, use it against your enemy, and if you're not fast enough, it will make that noise and explode in your hand. And I think hurt you as well, but ah, shit. Stubborn fuck. Are they gonna just keep on coming infinitely because we've got the improvement here? Do we need to? There we go. That'll teach you. Are we ought to just continue? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of them, and we are well healed and well armored and well prepared for this. But I guess our road lies ahead, somewhere else anyway. Should you pop up on the screens? I guess not. And there's also this one pipe here, in case, I don't know, you need a sip of the Citadel Combine blood, in case you're some space transhumanism vampire. Did Shadowrun ever use that concept? I don't know, I've never really played any Shadowruns. The big idea in the real world is fuck. Shit.
Than my sorrow over your unfortunate choice of career path. In a way, I suppose you could not have done otherwise. Who knows what seeds of iconoclasm they planted when you were young and gullible. But while they certainly share a great part of the responsibility for the recent troubles, it is you alone who have chosen to act with such willful disregard for humanity's future.
He always seems to be looking at you, but then again, all he needs is a camera to look into or at, instead of having a camera looking back at you. But yeah, other than that, he really seems like he prepared this speech ahead of time, because I don't know, even I wouldn't have chosen such words when I would be improvising. Yeah, that's the word. So we need to call in the lift. There's the button for it on the outside. And shit, son. A lot of those fuckers all of a sudden. Fortunately, this time we've got a pillar of annihilating energy. Come to me. Let my Jedi powers take over you. Also, you don't really have to pull them in. You can just shoot objects. Well, shoot the gravity gun right away to achieve the blast. You could always just punt the objects around with it like before, but now you can hit the NPCs as well, not only headcrabs, because it's blue now, of course. Where's the lift? Where are the enemies? What am I missing? Shit. Oh. Fortunately, this time we're equipped with the recharger on the station. Well, station on the wall, not there. So we can grab a little bit of a heal here somewhere. There it is. There, and we were getting low on the thing as well. Here, block their way with this, and it'll be fine. Oh, more hacks. But also, there is the lift is already down. So, even though we've got this energy field this time, it does not save us from being shot at, like in the teleporter in Nova Prospect, I guess. There we go. At least you can go fuck yourself. Right, Donald Trump. Sorry, there's gameplay. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know why you're here, whether you're on the social political commentary or the gameplay. Either way, trying to supply both sides of the equation, of the conflict, one way or another. I guess you will get what you're here for eventually. Eventually, we should be. Oh, we're. That was an exit. Well, up we go then. Hold on, I can cause troubles in there still with ricochets. So yes, Black Lives Matters and riots, and with those riots, everyone was mad. Everyone was mad because, you know, the riots sort of imply that you go out and destroy public property, I guess. Well, otherwise it would be what? Peaceful protest? Fuck off. Oh, we're still going and I'm almost dead. That's not good. Oh, we're close, I guess, at least. Now. Well, almost. It's fine, we made it. Hardly, barely.
You have destroyed so much. What is it exactly that you have created?
You should know you were there when Black Mesa incident happened.
I thought not.
And then again, I was out. As Gordon Freeman, was out for like 20 years in some alternative dimension in suspension. There was hardly anything left to be physically done. I mean, I don't really know what's... Gordon is a theoretical physicist, so I don't know what's his particular input on any project he worked on, but I think that would be a part of it. So I guess whatever he worked on, whatever project he was a part of, was the thing that he had created. And I imagine over his career, and especially working in Black Mesa, the things we got out of there, with like a Gauss cannon and that failure cascade, in essence we're really responsible for Breen having his position. So what is it that we have created? A war? Your job? Gravity cannon? I mean, a lot. I mean, we really can't discredit Gordon's achievements here.
Bump mapping is a method of adding the appearance of depth to a texture without having to render extra polygons in the game. It allows texture artists to determine how light hits a texture, creating the appearance of ripples, creases, or bumps on an otherwise smooth surface. This gives it a less flat appearance. Most of the bump maps for Half-Life 2 were made within a month, and were created using a polygonal render of the texture's surface.
I still don't know how bump mapping works, really. I mean, it's definitely better if it's pronounced, right? It's like 3D after all. Whatever 3D goggles you have and whatever 3D game you're playing is better when you've got the range to experience the perception, rather than just having almost completely smooth surface and then be told, yeah, it has bit mapping, just to look very, very fucking closely. And again, this is vain here. We gotta go. We can't just stand here and tank the incoming combine. So with the riots, when black people riot, what they do is, yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I'm not gonna take anything back. When black people riot, they seem to be demolishing, devastating, and destroying people's private property, the shops, stores, fronts, burning cars. But when white people riot, when they don't like their president, they wait till the end of his term to be mad.
But as something greater than we could ever imagine. Something we can now only begin to glimpse.
Which is what exactly? And they're just standing there, waiting for us, patiently. Waiting. I guess we'll go over this next time, because, you know, we're running short of time, finally, and the end. So, when black people riot, they destroy private property, but when white people riot, they destroy government building, specifically the White fucking House. They broke into White House, plundered fucking Oval Office, and had one of them killed. Themselves, that is. Like, some Ashley something, which is of course funny because obviously everyone wants to be original or just is stupid. I can't put it beneath them that they're not stupid. When you name your kid Ashley, you immediately have a variety of spellings of the word to choose from. From what I know, the Ashley that died in the assault on White House and the plunder and riot she's done was spelled ASHLI, not with GH or E or Y. We just chuck it up to another fucking spelling. Someone either didn't know how to spell the name or wanted to be original and make their child bear a name no one had ever had before. Like it's like spelling Katie or Jessie, not Jessica, or other names. So anyway, yeah, white people riot, break into government buildings, and plunder Oval Office. And what did Donald Trump do about that? Well, waited a day and he said, the election was stolen anyway. Please go home now. It's fine, I guess. Man, what a failure. Should I attribute it to just America or to humanity in general? Anyway, thanks for sticking by and thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and hopefully we'll see each other in the next video where I'm playing something for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with the video. Maybe it will gain some traction somewhere, sometime. And that's that. See ya.